This is what Hamari originally looked like before she was turned into this Drake forged metahuman.
Sorry, I made you move yourself.
So she's constantly struggling to keep herself shifted into what she once was. But you definitely notice often uh, her draconic scales popping out and maybe some energy light from underneath her shirt, or her skin shifts and glitches and changes colors from time to time. So she's constantly in the struggle to hide that she's this created weapon. That when she's in her Drake forged form, um, she's broad and imposing with metallic scaled skin, heat vent slits along the spine and jaw. And she can exhale bursts of plasma and generate bioelectric discharges from her cybernetic cores. So she's trying to get away from that. That's Amari.
Mine. And you got.
Right. Okay. So my character is they wear silks that are very like sturdy, generally very colorful, well decorated. But with that silk is sort of a chainmail motif integrated into it that creates an amount of armoring and design on them. Their hair is split, this side shaven and pink, this side very long and green. They go by they, them. They are basically like an infiltrator. Their main thing has primarily been solo missioning of getting the information, getting in very precisely, getting out successfully. The name that they go by, because others who encounter them have named them a mistake. It is a mistake to interact with them. And so that is the name that they are known by. It's not necessarily their picked name, but it is what
Mist
they're
for
known
short.
by. Hey, there you go. Yeah, I think that they prefer mist because then it's like difficult to see and whatnot, but other people know them as mistake because it is a mistake to interact.
You're a professional. You're a professional thief.
Essentially, yes.
Okay. We may.
With a touch of assassin when needed,
Excellent.
but only when needed.
Only when needed.
Yeah.
All right.
So mist. That's what you
Yes.
prefer.
Well, mistake, but mist is what is preferred. Yeah. And the MIST, not the MISSED.
Yep.
But that is totally
Yep.
fine. You can absolutely
Yep.
take it
I'm
both
gonna
ways.
MIS TV.
It just gives it extra levels.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
My character is a hollow one. They've grown up and live predominantly in the what's it called, the Edge district. Yeah. They are also a bit of a thief, but one of that is more petty. They've grown to have a pretty awful reputation among the local markets for stealing everything from food to clothes. I always have a scarf around my face because as a hollow one, I am extremely pale, extremely sickly, have kind of veins going in and out. I don't have a left eye because it was lost in a firefight. It's the only time I've ever lost a fight in a firefight. But I'm really good with gunslinging. It's how I manage to get the upper hand when I'm trying to run away from the heist that I do on the local market. But I'm kind of sick of the energy that I've got going on right now because nobody really wants me around. So I'm trying to upgrade my life and go for something a little bit more relaxed now. My name, I never really had one, but people call me Hay Bales because that's where I sleep. So that's what I go by.
So my character goes by Spark. Generally, that's not what I wrote. I wrote Charge. Spark is the name of magic. Something
Charge, you said?
Charge. Let's go with Charge. and generally dresses in kind of a very classic cyberpunk style, tight jeans, big jacket, that kind of deal. Is a hacker, fairly well known as someone not necessarily who takes the biggest and hardest jobs, but the person who will take weird jobs where you're not trying to do something like normal, like exfiltrate data and sell it, but you want to do something a little bit stranger than that, whatever that might be. Very secretive about their methods. A lot of hackers are very secretive about their methods, but he takes it to another level. He doesn't really care if you like know where his hacker den is or anything like that. He's way more approachable than a lot of hackers, but you will have no idea how he actually pulled off the job. You'll just get a disc when it's over.
So it sounds like we have a kind of outcasts and much more a group of outcasts than perhaps we've had in sort of some of our other sessions. So this is kind of the city. The green grid, that's a network of fractures in the ground.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But the orange one, that's the first abyss. That's the big one.
That's the beginning.
That's the first big crack.
Okay.
The colors are like levels along the sides of the chasms, so things that are, unless you're going to read it differently than we did earlier, so stuff that's captioned in the same color is at the same height along the chasms. Yep. The other colors you have to go up or down to reach.
Yep.
Those
So for example, the memory market is at the sort of in the upper world. That's the top level. The hollowed core here is
Here's
at
our
the
spliced section of showing the different depths, right?
Yep.
So the abyss is all the way down here, and then anything above this is the upper world.
Anything above the concrete plug is the upper world. The way I envision is that there are parts that some of the chasms have been literally built over, and there's like the undercity sort of extends out into it, and there's other places where it's just a freaking hole in the ground.
Right.
The first chasm is the biggest and the one that has the biggest like hole. Someone from the sort of not the upper levels, but the sort of mid levels has noticed or has recently extracted some data that Eden Tech just a week ago launched a whole ass expedition into the Hollow Core, a company-sized deployment of soldiers, excavation equipment, a whole lot of material and people that they sent to investigate something going on down there.
How long ago was that?
Yeah, it was like a week ago. And someone is running this by you. Someone's showing you some of the pictures they've captured, and you see, as this is happening, you see a familiar face flash up on one of those big monitors. You have a billion monitors, right, hacker? Cyberpunk hacker, you have a billion monitors, right?
So we're in your den.
You're in the outer den.
Yeah.
Let's say.
But you see Salazar's face, a grainy photo taken at a distance, but Salazar's face, along with a small number of soldiers and some kind of executive or bodyguard, maybe.
So Amari can't hold in her anger, and she also can't hold on to her shifter form. It kind of explodes into her.
How big do you get?
She's about 7 feet tall.
So much for your space.
3 feet wide. Covered in spikes and scales, and obvious, just full of built weapon. And she just erupts
jump
in
across
anger
the
at the
room when
sight
you do.
of
I've
this
been
person.
half perched on a
Save
side
it.
of the couch,
Save
and I'm like, boom, dodging away.
I guess that's.
And I think she
backwards.
breaks a couple of your monitors
Yeah.
and some of your stuff.
That's fine. Those are for decoration.
The job is find out what so spooked them that they've sent this expedition into the Hollow Core.
Who's sending this job?
Fixer.
Just random, anonymous one?
Fixer is
Or is that the fixer's name? Fixer.
it's you know what? Yes, the fixer's name is Fixer. Fuck it, we're doing it.
Fixer at your service.
You know it's
Breaker
Mr.
fixer.
Breaker fixer.
Yeah. This is like, I think it starts out as like, hey, do you know anything about this? Like, hey, we're paying for your expertise, but then it's, oh no, like if you want to learn
if you
more.
want an answer, I have to get some people and go look.
Yep.
Yeah. What I want to do is using my abilities to channel electricity,
Yep.
not turn everything on. I want to touch the circuit and like send out a weak electricity through the network and figure out like what is this all hooked up to? Is there anything further down
Okay.
that is live that I can sense connected to it,
Okay.
etc.
All right. Roll me in a tune. Threat 2, effect 2. Just standard attune.
I'm taking the smart approach with this.
Yep. Absolutely.
And
That's
6.
just it. All right.
And 1 step on my echo track. 'cause
One
I
step on
used
your-
it too.
We are going to.
This didn't go off the last time we played with the channeler, and I am determined that it's going to.
Here's your effort.
I also didn't have it going.
And we will make this a 4 count track.
Oh my god, I got a track already.
Anyway, so yes,
Gotta do magic.
your spark crosses over down the line. 'Cause there's more cables. That's the main problem. There's a bunch of little sublets that are still down there. They've got some. You get the sense that there's some kind of like power or base down there, but it's not like directly hooked up to anything. It's not directly hooked up to the main grid here.
So they probably have some kind of generator system that they brought with them or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
But this place, the other thing is that like this place, like it's like a geothermal borehole, right? But like the power, you get a sense the power grid is like set up weird for doing that.
It's hard to turn that off too, even if you did.
The Ripper Dock mechanic works. You're going to be envisioning what is this augmented?
So it's basically like it's an internal electrical and eldritch battery. Just when I need a much bigger jolt, I can turn it on and let it loose.
All right. So, did an expert do this or a rookie?
I don't think this can be done by a rookie since it also contains the spark as well as.
Okay. Yeah. So,
I think someone would have to know what they were doing to put this in.
so take 2 stress, and roll a d6.
2 stress.
Yeah. This is
3.
So on a 3, you're just looking good. It's just fine. Nothing amazing happened.
And then I'm gonna, so I have it. I'm gonna spend a stress to activate it, which puts me at 7 and.
You don't have to spend stress for this one.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna activate this and dump every bit of charge I have into the blue cross on the paladin's back that appears to be connected to their shield system.
Okay, we are going. So
Overload!
this is going to be standard effect, great threat, but it's going to happen after this next exchange. Takes it, squishes it, and this like black, and it turns like it's this pink Swedish fluid that like drips into this ghostly image and turns into a black ichor as it envelops through it.
Great. I've always wanted to know what happens if my evil twin eats the fruit of the tree of life, and now I know.